Hello and welcome. This is Angie with thecountrysheetcottage.net. So today we're going to talk about weeding tools. I'm actually going to compare a bunch of different brands of weeding tools, from the Cricut brand to off brands to Caesar, just tons of different brands that we're going to include. We're going to see if we can find one that's better than the other. Maybe they're all the same. And then we'll talk at the end about our results, as well as some of the pricing as of right now. I will link to every tool I use in the description below, so you can head there, click those links, price compare for yourself after you watch me use each of these tools. So let's get started and look at the tools that we're going to compare. So these are all the weeding tool sets we're going to talk about today. First of all is the Cricut set that you see me use again and again. Now all of these things do not come with the weeding set itself. The original weeding set has like a couple of hooks, I think 3 hooks and 2 tweezers. So some of these I've gotten from other sets. I'm actually not wild about using tweezers at all when weeding. My favorite tweezers are actually these large flat ones, and they're actually for fabric, so they come in a completely different set. I do like this spatula for removing things off the mat. The small scissors are super, super helpful. And most sets that come with a small scraper, but I love the extra large scraper for my project. So this is the one you'll see me use most often. Now, Cricut also has just come out with a true control weeding kit with like a soft handle and interchangeable tips. We'll also run through this one, but I wanted to run through some cheaper options. So maybe the Cricut tools themselves are a little bit pricey for you. Then there are some cheaper options on the market and a few different things. So the first thing, this is an off brand. It's on Amazon. I'll link to all of these below. This one is super similar to the Cricut set. Like, you might not even be able to tell the difference just looking besides the brand name. So we'll test all of these actually. The next one is this, it's called King Finger. Again, this is an off brand set, but I love this pouch. And the tools themselves are super similar. They actually have no branding on them at all, so no words. But the tools themselves, super similar to the Cricut versions. So we'll be trying those as well to kind of compare and contrast. And then if you want something different, they also make weeding pins. And I'll try a couple different versions of those. And this is a weeding pin, and it comes in a little set. And it's actually kind of hard to open. It does that every time on me. But it comes with a pair of tweezers and then like a weeding pin, and it has like this little hook deal on the other end, and we're going to give that a test and see if we like it. So there's a few different options for you. So let's put these to the test and take a closer look at each one. Here's a closer look at some of my Cricut tools. What I will say, number one complaint about the Cricut tools that I see is that the tips, and I don't know if you can tell here, but the tips eventually sort of curl over, or like basically they're not as sharp because they curl over onto themselves. I think that's going to happen with any of these sets that have the super pointy tip. But if it's going to happen on any of the sets, and the less expensive sets work just as well, there's really no reason to like spend the extra money on the more expensive ones. But I'll go ahead and talk about the Cricut set as well as the others. So for each of these, I've made like a little swatch with basically some circles cut out of it. Now, what I do like about the Cricut set is that it has different options. So I use each of these sort of a different way. So there's like a straight hook. There is one that is like has one curve and one that has 2 curves. I generally like the one that has 2 curves the best, and for like a variety of reasons. And I always like to like grab the outside edge and pull around the outside edge as well. And we're going to go through a couple of different options for your scraps as well. So I have that scrap piece on there. The first option is a scrap wipes container. So if you have like some disinfecting wipes that you've been using, you can use this container and just sort of put your scraps inside. And this little thing right here is perfect for just running your hook through and getting those little pieces off. So that's one option for that, and I'll run through a few different options for that as well. But as you can see, this works super well. It's basically what you'll see me use all the time. I personally love the one with 2 bends in it but the one with one bend works just about as well. Now the one that is straight, I do not use as much. So I use it mainly for like other things, but you can use it for weeding as well. And this one has been bent, but it still picks it up pretty well. Now, I do not use the tweezers very well. So these tweezers here that you have to squeeze to open, I rarely use those at all. I just don't find those useful. Some of the other ones, like maybe I can get it up and like it's stuck there, and maybe I don't want to use that, then I could use my tweezers to grab it and pull it off. I don't very much. And like I said, if I use any tweezers, it's the large flat ones. So the tweezers to me aren't really applicable at all. And mainly what I use this for is to scrape things off the mat, like paper and things like that. All right, so let's move on to some of the other sets and sort of give them a test on this same little piece of vinyl and see if they work the same. All right, here's a closer look at the set from Kingfinger. Now it comes with one hook, one set of tweezers. This is a set of tweezers, like you have to squeeze to open them, so not my favorite. It does come with the little spatula for lifting up things, and these scissors are super handy. The Cricut has those as well, super handy. And then the small scraper, and I kind of like the large one better. And then the hook is a little bit of a different shape. So it's similar to the one that just has one bend, but if you look at the Cricut version is bent a little more, I think, than this one. But let's put the weeding tool to the test. So what I like to do is lift up in the corner and just peel this back and then just start picking up these middle pieces. So it works similar to the Cricut version. And let's talk about another weeding tip. And this little thing is meant to hold nail polish, goes on your fingers like this. Again, you can put, if I don't lose them, you can put your scraps inside. They kind of all make a ball, and then you can just pull the ball out. So we'll just kind of start picking up those circles. I mean, I think the hook is similar. I personally like that hook that has the two bends, the Cricut version. So this one is a little bit awkward, but I can see like using it. I think it's fairly similar. The tools look the same. I think they would function basically the same. And I will put the links to all these, and you can kind of price shop for the ones you want to use. But I think this is super similar. And I'll also put links to like these little doodads that we're going to talk about as well. All right, next up is the next sort of like off-brand set. It has the same things as the one we just looked at, the same as the Kingfinger. The Kingfinger does come with that super cool like felt pouch. And this one does have like the off-brand name on it. So same things. Tweezers that you squeeze, one weeding tool with the single bend, the scissors with the cover, and then the super handy spatula. So I'll just use this weeding hook and kind of weed this, again, the same piece of vinyl. And in the same manner, just sort of pick up those centers. Again, I mean, fairly similar. When comparing the hooks themselves, this is the one from this set. This is the Cricut version, and this is that Kingfinger version we just used. So you can see they're all kind of a different shape, slightly different shape. Similar, but slightly different. So let's keep using this off-brand version. You can also get these cute little berry. This suctions to your table. Now I'm using, it'll suction pretty well. I'm using like a paper cover over my table just for looks, but it suctions pretty well to that. And then you can just leave it sitting there, and it kind of like allows you to scrape off those vinyl scraps. So just another option when weeding. And I feel like this one is super similar to the other ones I've used. So again, I think that this set, I would definitely price compare, but would be super similar to the Cricut version. So now let's take a look at the Cricut, the new True Control weeding kit, and see if we like that any better. All right, so this is that True Control weeding kit. So what you get is a handle, and you get 4 tips. So you get the same hooks that are with the Cricut weeding tool kit, and then you get a craft knife. So this is normally a craft knife handle, and all you do, there's a lock and an unlock. So we're going to do unlock. Then once it's unlocked, we'll take it, put it on the hook, press this top button down, press it, and it'll grab the hook, and then we can pull it out. So now our hook is on our handle. And then to change it, we can put it back in this plastic, press the button again as long as it's unlocked, which I did not lock it. And then we can go to the next one and unlock, put it back in, go to the next one, lock it, pull it out. But just like that, we can change tips, and we can change actually to a craft knife with this one. So if you wanted your craft knife on there, you just, with a quick change, you can have that on there. So I think the tips themselves will work similar to the Cricut tips, since that's what they are, is the Cricut tips, but we will give this one a try anyway, just to say we did. So again, I'm like super partial to this double bend one, so I'm going to use it. And then I'll just work on weeding those out. And again, it's super similar to all the other ones I've used. And I really don't see where this would be any different than the other Cricut tools. So I would expect it to eventually, that tip to bend over on itself, even though I think this kit is a little bit more expensive. But if you are looking for a sort of a fancier weeding kit, the True Control kit might be for you. Next up is this kit with like a weeding pin and a set of tweezers, and it comes in a little case. So the first thing I want to note, so these weeding pins can be super sharp. This one unscrews from the end and you can turn it upside down, screw it back in, and then the sharp part is inside this tube, so you don't have to worry about sticking yourself. So if that's important to you, you can definitely look at this set. And we're just going to kind of use that weeding pin to weed away our design. Now I'm going to be the first to admit, I am not a fan of a weeding pin, but we are going to give some a try in this video. I know some people love their weeding pins, but I am a much bigger fan of the hooks. So I have trouble with all weeding pins, so it's not necessarily this one, but I did have some trouble with that. But I do want to try, on this one there's like a little circle on the end. And I'm assuming if you get something started, say like well, that just came up. So say I get one started and I can't quite get it off. I think you could use this and to work it under there and just sort of pick it up. So that might be super convenient on something super intricate where you're having a hard time pulling up those pieces. But again, a weeding pen is not my favorite, but I mean, for a weeding pen, this does pretty well. So there we go with the weeding pen. I do like this little hook thing at the end of this one, and I have 2 more weeding pens to try, so let's take a look at those. All right, so final test, and that's these weeding pens. I have 2 different types, and a weeding pen, if you don't know, so it's retracted just like a pen, and then you just press it and the weeding tip comes out. We'll just eject both of these. This one is much pointier than this one, so this is more of like a larger rounded tip than this one. This one is comparable to the one we just used, so we'll go ahead and use it first. And again, like safety reasons, that's why it retracts. But whereas I had to like unscrew the other one, this one you just press that button and it retracts away. And I don't have any more cool weeding hacks for you. This one works super similar to the one I just tried. You would not have the option of that hook on the end though, with that other one, and then the other one had the tweezers with it and that little case, so you wouldn't have those options as well. All right, so that one's okay. So next up, let's try this one with the larger tip. And again, we'll just sort of pull away that outside edge. And then we'll just pull away all those circle middles. So this one, I have more trouble like getting it stuck in there so I can keep it on the pen because the tip is so wide. It comes up, but it falls off the pen as soon as I get it up. And that is something I really don't like. Yeah, I can't get it to stay on the pen because it is so chunky. So I would say like this one is my least favorite if I wanted a weeding pen. It did have a late edition, so the Caesar set is actually at Michael's, and it comes with a hook and a set of tweezers. And I thought I would throw this into the video as well. Right, so these tweezers actually are open and you squeeze them to pinch. So I think I would like a set of these tweezers a little bit better. And then the hook is way different. So it's sort of a really curved hook with a slight bend at the end. And we'll just weed the same piece. And it does work really well. Similar to the other hooks though. I don't know if I would say it's any better or worse. I would just say it's similar to. So there you have the Caesar weeding set. All right, so as you can see, most of them were fairly comparable. So first of all, I'm personally not a fan of weeding pens. Maybe I don't use them correctly. I just don't find them very user-friendly. I really like the hooks tons better. That's fine. I think weeding, a lot of it is personal preference. If you want to try some of the weeding tools, I did give you some options, but I personally like the hook. So I would go with a hook set. I do feel like all the hooks were fairly comparable. So I would probably go with one of the cheaper sets. That way when it wears out, or you know, that hook kind of folds over on the end, then you can just get another set. Like you don't have to worry about like, do I spend all the money on the expensive set and then where am I gonna get the money for my next set? Just pick up the next inexpensive set. So let's talk pricing. So actually the most expensive one is this little Caesar set. Right now it's the most expensive one. I will drop links below. Like I said, you can click all those and kind of price compare for yourself. Prices might change, things go on sale, that type of thing. But we're talking like regular, everyday prices. The Caesar is the most expensive, followed by the Cricut sets. Now the Cricut, the regular set, and the True Control set are about the same price. And there are a variety of different sets on the Cricut website. So definitely click over to those. I do like the larger scraper on the Cricut that's sold separately. So you can definitely take a look at that. And I like those really large flat tweezers instead of all the other tweezers that are out there. These Caesar tweezers are actually pretty good though, but they are pretty pricey. But I do like those flat tweezers, so I will link to those as well. But the Cricut set is like the next down in price. And then after that, so you have the Caesar, the Cricut, and then comes the two off-brand Cricut set. So the King Finger, and I guess you would say the other one, Nikapa? Not sure. But those two sets, similar in price. So the King Finger, however, it's actually a little bit cheaper when I looked, and it comes with that cool felt case. So if you wanted the felt case, I think the King Finger is the way to go. Those tools are super cute. Don't have a brand name on it, so I don't think anyone would ever really know where you purchase them. So that's one option. Next, in inexpensive, you get into some of the pens. So it kind of goes like this set and that black pen are sort of comparable in pricing. And then the pen that I really didn't like. So these pens were okay. Like I just prefer a hook. But the pen that I really didn't like is actually the cheapest option. But I personally wouldn't recommend it. Like I don't think that you're going to be happy with that pen. I think you're going to be hunting for something else to do your weeding. Or you're going to be saying, I hate to weed because I can't ever get the vinyl off. So I think you'll be good with any of the hook sets. Or if you want to try a pen, the actual set with the tweezers is a little cheaper. And to me, it was comparable to the black pen I tried. So these are from like Vinyl Frog, this set. So if you wanted to try a pen, I would definitely pick these up. Now, a lot of these are on sale on things like Amazon Black Friday. Like they have the Prime Day. I picked a lot of these up on Prime Day. Events like that, a lot of these off-brand sets go on sale. So if you can wait, definitely wait. If you need a stocking stuffer for the holidays, I would go with like the King Finger set personally. Kind of like that one. And then maybe add a few of the Cricut tools like the extra large scraper and things like that. as stocking stuffers as well. So I hope that helped answer all your questions about weeding tool sets. If you have any more questions, you can drop down in the comment section and ask away. If this video helped you, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. We have videos like this all the time, and we would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss any of those. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.